Hello, welcome to week 8. I'll do some wrap-up comments from 7, intro to week 8, but almost done with the course. Hope you enjoyed the two forums. The best statistics you've ever seen. That's one of my favorites. Both the technical ability to put it together in PowerPoint, the powerful message that, and all the information that's passed on. It's truly one of the ones that I have found to be the best from the TED site, and I've used it in the ops management course. If you are not signed up or members of TED, I suggest you do that. There are extremely fascinating videos come out on them every 2 to 3 weeks. Well worth the time, and it's free. So please take advantage of that. Uh, Another reason it's kind of meaningful to me is I lived through that time period. I kind of knew the news that was going on, but to see the connection between the countries across the globe with those pressures and those influences going on is truly meaningful to me. Just shows doing business overseas can be very challenging. Different cultures, uh, different rules, different governments, uh, different view of ethics. You've got to take all that into account and figure out how you want to do business. I did ask a question about ethical responsibilities between the developed and the developing countries. Another text I had used gave examples. Merck had developed a cure for malaria and gave that away for free to the developing countries that needed to combat that disease. So, to what ends do American corporations and businesses and things share their technology and help those developing nations? Uh, there was some intimation in the PowerPoint in doing this business, and it kind of links into the next one, which is consumerism. Very good discussions on consumerism and the definitions and what we've seen here in the United States. And we talk about poor working conditions and such overseas. I would strongly back discussions and looking into and investigations that look at child labor laws, safe working conditions. However, when you consider judging their work standards, working conditions, their pay against what the American worker demands in here in the United States, that's two different things. Cost of living in other countries is not quite what it is today, and demanding that they receive a minimum wage of $15 an hour is not quite in line with their culture, their way of doing business. As their standard of living improves, I'm sure that the cost will go up, and it should, and they should be paid accordingly. But overseas, many people can work a reasonable amount of time with a reasonable wage for their area. But just watch how you flavor or characterize that pay level in comparison to what you think the American worker should get. Under the consumerism forum, one approach I might ask you to look at is that you hear a lot in both the news and politics about the poor American middle class. Makes up 80% of our population, can't make a living, don't make enough to support them. And then you look at we want to have the consumer behavior drive corporate behavior. I'm not sure how you would do this, but if you could break out our 230 million people population into various financial groups, and then look at the number of people in that and consider their buying power. Most people are looking, as several of you said, to save money, make it go as far as possible. They're not looking for the company or the corporation that's doing the most, giving the most, being the most philanthropic. So again, what is the power of the consumer, and who is the consumer? There are far more people in the United States that are watching their dollars and saving in order to get by than there are that can afford to take the high road on the ethical standards of boycotting companies. It's a nice thought, but can you put that into reality? Can you make that work? think I asked in there, what can you do? Uh, Comes to mind Chad Petracki. If you're familiar with the name, he started the Living Lands and Waters Foundation, which is a cleanup of the Mississippi River. He won the CNN's Man of the Year last year, year before, for his efforts. Uh, Again, what can you do? Many people have thought, well, it's just me. Not a whole lot I can do unless you have something like Chad's driving influence around you. So whatever you can, if you can get a chance to participate in that with your companies, your organizations, your groups outside of work, I encourage you to do that. Otherwise, I think many of us we're into recycling, saving energy, and do what we can. But unless we have some driving force like Chad had, it's a little harder for us to picture how we could influence the environment and the CSR type things. Well, again, in week 8, we're wrapping it up. You have a choice between 2 discussions to post on and then comment on the other. Conscious capitalism, very good, different kind of approach to CSR. And then you have the cheating economy, and then you also have the wrap up of your takeaways. I'll probably have one more video. Hope you've enjoyed the course, got a lot out of it. I will say that from these last 2 forums, either I have managed to find the right tweaks to ask questions to get you involved and excited, or you have really caught on to the method to my madness, because the postings have been great. I encourage all of you to go back and look through the week 7 forums, both on the statistics and the consumerism. There have been some outstanding statements, as well as additions, websites to visit and such to take a look at. But really, really great week. So thank you very much for your efforts. Appreciate it. Last week coming on here, and be talking to you one more time. Again, thank you very much.